I'm Gerard Wright, the Government Affairs Director with the Greater LA Realtors, which is a large realtor association and its affiliate members that represent over 12,000 strong throughout these regions in the city, stretching from Beverly Hills, Culver City, LA, right here in West Hollywood, Santa Monica, and other unincorporated areas in Los Angeles County, for example, like Marina Del Rey, and I believe we cover a little bit of Ladera Heights. Now, we have been an association given all our different regions since 1903, so this is our 120th year, which is really, really exciting. But also, I'm here to present, and in that time, there's been a lot of changes from regulation or opening up the opportunities for housing to now we're getting into a time where the real estate industry not only under attack, but there's areas that's going to affect how you do transactions if you're a realtor, or if you're looking to buy, if you're looking to sell, or trying to find a realtor in that particular case as well. So I'm going to talk about elections and why they have such great importance and issues that are popping up for next year that I want you to be aware of. So if you have a pad and paper, or you can start taking notes with your phone, that would be a great opportunity to do so. But if you want to become an affiliate with us, feel free and click on that QR code. We have a booth right now, so if you can't get it right now, you can go right to our booth and click it right there as well. But that will be with Scott Floyd, who is our Director of Events and Communications, but also with our affiliates as well.
One question, is this for licensed realtors?
The members are licensed realtors, that's correct. All right, so I'm going to ask a very simple question. Are you registered to vote? We get a few raise of hands. Everyone's registered to vote here? Okay, perfect. The big question next will be, do you know anyone who hasn't registered to vote? Because that's going to be an important, again, usually these odd, even number years are going to be the big election years. 2022 is a big gubernatorial race. This year's going to be a presidential year. So what we're doing right now is we're doing a voter registration drive. This is important, not just to get our voices heard, but also be able to connect with the community on the importance of the real estate industry and what it means to local small businesses, increasing housing production, increasing home ownership opportunities, because some want to have a first-time home, be a first-time home buyer. I'm literally in that process right this very second. So it's a little nervous and anxious, but exciting at the exact same time. But most importantly, with all those lists, is the protecting the private property rights, because once you become a homeowner, you get those private property rights, which is an important element when you work with a realtor or an agent or a broker to make those transactions happen that Will just talked about. And we make it real simple and real easy. You scan that QR code. So if anyone's worried about, oh, our privacy is going to be at hell, no. You click on that, you can fill that out. That person can fill it out by themselves right there, and the county will get that. We're just an arbiter to make sure folks come out to vote, make sure they are registered to vote, because there are some important issues that are coming up. Now, one issue that our state association, which is the California Association of Realtors, has worked on this year is called Living Trust Education. Now you're a homeowner, you just went through the process of becoming, getting the acceptance and closing escrow, got through all those steps. Now you have that investment and you're wondering, okay, what do I do? What's the next step? Setting up a living trust is very important. In different communities of color, African American community, Latino community, this is an area that's lacking, and that's something that our state association has sponsored legislation to help assist educating the community on it, especially when they are first-time home buyers, or if they go through a first-time home buyer program. This information will be provided in combination with the California Housing Finance Authority, because they provide very special grants and first-time home buyer loans to those first-time home buyers. So give them information. And these are just 5 of simple benefits of why living trust matters. No probate court. So probate can just reduce the value of a person's property, especially with generational wealth is so important in these communities. That's how they can continue on and build that wealth, build that legacy that you invest in real estate in. Because there's only so much land, and real estate's kind of next. Tax benefits, specificity, making giving some flexibility. It's in control of that asset. You're protecting that asset and you're giving some important information around that. Now, I'm not a lawyer, so I can't physically say, oh, you can do this. But this is one of the benefits that education will provide for future home buyers. And that's something the California State Association has worked very closely with and want to continue it down the pipeline. So that's something just for everyone's attention. Next, we call it housing protection, and the reason why it's called housing protection because today is the AIDS walk, and the AIDS Healthcare Foundation will sponsor another ballot measure that's going to push for statewide rent control. They've done it twice before, 2018 and 2020, and thankfully it failed. One of the problems a key problem with statewide rent control is reducing the local control for local cities to decide, hey, do we want rent control or not? But secondly, the concept of rent control in and of itself is bad because when you apply it all across the state, you're really pricing out the mom and pop housing providers. It could be your aunt, it could be your uncle, it could be a grandparent, it could be someone you know who's actually a housing provider who may own a 1 or 4 unit property or some of the properties that we'll just show you. And it puts them out of business because then they won't be able to compete with the larger corporate landlords who can, okay, we have these legal requirements, this is what we can do, and boom, that's what we got. This would just make it so much more onerous for the smaller housing providers to stay in business. And that's something we don't want to see in California because they're an essential element to building housing and creating housing in many communities, affordably too. So that's just something to be on the lookout for. When you see it, whatever that ballot number, proposition number, that's going to come probably in the fall time. Please vote no on it because again, it's going to be very
What
bad.
does this do? Is the rent control goes out of this scenario, or what's going on?
They're going to increase more of the rules on rent control. Like for example, some local cities already have rent control. What this would do is make it blanket all across the state. Even if, for example, West Hollywood has a form of it that's not as onerous compared to, let's say, Los Angeles.
Yeah.
What this ballot initiative will do is make it more onerous all across the state. It's reducing the local control. Like West Hollywood decided in a certain format, in a certain way, this is how they want to do it. This would basically wipe that off. It would do it all across the state. Now some would say, oh, that would make things easier, and actually it doesn't because you're removing the local control, but you're also hurting, most importantly, I think the bigger piece of it is, you're hurting mom and pop housing providers. So like if you're a small, you have 2 units, 3 units, 4 units, even up to like 8 or 10 units, you're making it more difficult for that housing provider to stay in business. And some of them do, they can make a lot of changes. For example, a corporate landlord, and I'm just paraphrasing, this is not exactly how it happens, but some smaller mom and pop landlords can overlook credit ratings or credit scores because they see, okay, this person's trying to build themselves back on their feet and they want to get an opportunity. They're the kind of the last hope for someone to get, a rental unit. But if you price them out and you have more of the corporate, you have less of those things happening. So it just makes it even more difficult to find housing for landlords, and there's also a piece around property rights, which you now start here. It starts eroding it even further. So now they can go from rent control to property control. If you don't pay your mortgage at a certain time, we can create this rule as well. It starts the domino effect of a lot of bad policy.
Make things worse.
Exactly.
And this is just California?
This is just the state of California.
Of course.
And
I don't know that I had a Robbie here, but I don't
Yeah.
tend to do the rest of my business.
yeah, no, absolutely. But like I said, there's a QR code that we have some more information at our booth. I just wanted to show you about that. Next piece, reducing voter threshold on taxes. Who like paying more taxes? Raise your hand. Okay, just a real conservative bunch. I like that. This is also going to be on the ballot in November 2024. It's a proposed state constitutional amendment that will reduce the voter threshold on special taxes that were created under Prop 13 from 2/3 down to 55%. What that means is property taxes, the local cities say, hey, it may be easier to do more property taxes, which means it makes the cost of housing more expensive. It could also, do things that increase more real estate transfer taxes. For example, if you transfer from one sale to another, if you're doing a transaction of converting a commercial into a residential property or something along that line, doing those type of adaptive reuse projects. This will make it even more difficult for the expense of those projects because they're making it easier to pass those tax measures. Now, taxes in and of themselves are not bad. There are areas that we supported in terms of homeless, transportation, but there's got to be accountability to all that. And unfortunately, with this blanket constitutional amendment, there's no accountability to it. They're just, okay, just reduce the voter threshold. It makes things easier to pass taxes. And it's like, at this point in time where the costs are going up, that's not a good idea. So that's going to be on the ballot. Also, ACA 13. Some of you are wondering, what in the heck is ACA 13? Oh, I'll tell you what it is. This is going to change the vote threshold for citizen-backed initiatives. There's one initiative that's popping up that'll come up right after that is looking to provide accountability and protections for all special taxes. What this ballot initiative will do is make sure that it ensures that that particular initiative will have to reach a 2/3 threshold rather than a simple majority because it's a simple amendment change. All what this will do is just undermines the voters, the voice of the voters, because now it's going to be vote by legislation, ballot box, budgeting. You'll probably see a lot more of that. You will see a lot more of Sacramento not being able to legislate in an appropriate fashion. And it also keeps those working families from buying home because, again, it increases the likelihood of more taxation, bad taxation, in fact, and a lot of bait and switch that's going on. So that's something that will also be on the ballot for November 2024, which you take a good close look at. And finally, this is one of the solutions to it, which is the Taxpayer Protection Act. It's really, really simple. This is an initiative that's sponsored by the California Business Roundtable, a lot of small businesses, small mom and pop businesses, that will add accountability measures to all special taxes, requiring a 2/3 supermajority to pass. Basically, it protects Prop 13. That's what this initiative in its simplicity will do. It will reserve and protect the will of the voters under Prop 13. Gives the vote final voice to say on state and local taxes. Again, how many like to see the cost of things going up right now? I mean, it's going to continue to get worse. Just because, there's enough of us and there's scarcity and supply and demand, economics. And then there's greater accountability and transparency. Make sure that whatever the tax goes to, whenever it specifies, it will go to that specific reason. It's just ensuring, hey, dot your I's and cross your T's. And it will maintain current revenue. It won't change anything major in terms of if there are any special taxes that are increased from a simple majority, that will be under review under this particular initiative if the voters were to support it and pass it. And I think that's a really important one to keep an eye out for if you like to keep your taxes low or just want to make sure government, state and local government do the right thing with the taxes. I think this is an important measure for everyone to continue to know about. If you want a little more information, scan that QR code, I'll take you right to that website. Okay? With that, I think that ends it here. Yeah, it does end it. I'm going to ask for any questions really quickly, if anyone has any. And if you want to get my information, my contact information, you can click on that QR code right there as well. And I'll give you right to get in touch with me if you have any other questions.
That's what I got too.
Oh yeah, that goes with my digital card. If you have problems with that, okay, you have to download it. If worse comes to worse, I have business cards that.
Download that.
Yeah. I would say worst come to worst, you can come by the booth and I'll give you my business card.
I like business cards.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah, okay.
All right. So with that, hearing no questions, or if something pops up, feel free to come by our booth. We're more than happy to talk to everyone throughout the carnival. And with that, I close. Thank you. You have a question?
So, are you guys involved